Today is Monday, February 8th, the beginning of the second week of Black History Month. So, and in honor of Black History Month, I want to talk about the fact that Oklahoma lost a true Democrat who stood up for education, who stood up for folks. Yesterday, Senator Maxine Horner passed away. She was one of the first Black senators we had in our state. She is responsible for coming up with legislation to make sure everyone has an opportunity to have access to affordable higher education. And she's also responsible for the legislation that created the original Jazz Hall of Fame. So I want to ask everybody to take a moment of silence, send prayers, hold the Horner family up in your prayers. They lost a great one. We lost a great one last night. Okay, so I wanted to start out with that just to make sure, we just got to recognize, folks when we lose them, and we're losing some really great folks. So it's hard to shift from that because it kind of makes me sad. But today is February 8th. In a lot of counties in Oklahoma, we have an election tomorrow, Tuesday, February 9th. If you haven't requested an absentee ballot and turned it back in, and you did not participate in in-person early voting, please show up to the polls tomorrow between 7 and 7. If you haven't asked your boss, please ask your boss. Please coordinate that. Everybody needs to stay employed, but we do need to participate in democracy. So please, if you have an election and if you're not sure, even at this late day, it's not too late, go out to the Oklahoma State Election Board, type in your name, birthday, and it will tell you if you have an election tomorrow. So be sure and participate in that election. Now, there are other elections going on for which we in April. So there are candidates out there who need your help. Please reach out, find a candidate to help, even if they're not in your district. Like we have a special election, which the primary is tomorrow, but the victor of that primary will have another election in April. And we as Democrats need Senate District 22 in our column. And so they need as much help as you can get. We have two very qualified candidates in that race. We have Molly Uten and Dylan Billings, two very qualified candidates. They need your help. Show up and vote for them. But then tomorrow at 7:03, make sure that you go out and you like the winners page and you send them an email and ask them how you can help, and then help them. I know that they're doing big voter registration drives in that district. They are, I know this week kind of sucks because it's so cold, but they're doing no-touch literature jobs where they're dropping literature at targeted homes. They're going to need your help. So please reach out. Even if your district doesn't have an election, reach out and give them a hand. We're going to be running statewide voter registration efforts that involve knocking doors, sending emails, sending texts, and making phone calls. So reach out to your county officer and see if there is a way that you can help with that project. There are ways that you can help with that project without leaving your house. The Democrats in Oklahoma, the Democratic Party in Oklahoma is dramatically, the registration is dramatically less than the Republican Party. We really need to get folks registered. And I think it's just because we haven't asked. We need to get out there and ask. So tomorrow, I said, is election day, but it is also the beginning of the impeachment trial. Yay. The American people need to hear exactly what happened, whether or not the Senate votes to convict. The American people need to know the truth. They've been fed a big lie for about 6 months now, a little bit more than that, but it's been really steady for the last 6 months. Our entire congressional delegation participated in that lie, promulgated that lie. The American public needs to hear the facts. They need to hear the truth. So that starts tomorrow. We'll see what happens there. I want to take a moment and just remind people that COVID is real. I have been on lockdown in my house since March 14th. So we're right at 11 months now, and I'm a little sick of it. I want to get out. I want to see people. I haven't seen my family in that time. I haven't seen Democrats. I want to get out. I want to see folks, but we can't do that until we get this virus under control. It is real. So I got a couple of things I want to say about that. So number one, if you are eligible for your vaccine, please get your vaccine. They're not going to move past phase 1 until they feel like they have everybody everyone who is eligible in phase 1 who wants it gets it. And we need to expand past phase 1. If you are eligible, please get it. If you're having a hard time navigating the portal, there are organizations all over the place who will help you. And then there's 211 who will help you. The numbers about who is getting it and who isn't getting it is a little bit distressing in that those members of underrepresented groups, so African Americans, Hispanic Americans, not Native Americans, they're getting theirs, but African Americans and Hispanic Americans aren't getting their shots in proportion to what they make up in our society. So if you're an African American and you're having a hard time, if you're Hispanic American, you're having a hard time figuring it out, please call 211. They have people who can help you now. Get your vaccine. We are the most vulnerable. We are the folks who, if we get it, we have the highest chance of dying from it. Get your vaccine. Stay alive and let me out of my house. Just get your vaccine. I wanted to say that COVID is real because I learned of Republican Congressman Ron White from Texas, who he's a congressman who should have been eligible for the vaccine. He's over 65. He should have been eligible for a vaccine, and he just died of COVID. It's real. People are still dying from COVID. It's not a hoax. We're not over it. It's not going to naturally get us in some herd immunity. So please take it seriously. Get your vaccine, and until then, continue to wait on those things where there are gatherings that you don't absolutely have to go in. Wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance if you can't avoid those events, but continue to take all of the COVID protocols, which brings me to reorganization. So precinct election calls go out tomorrow. Precinct elections are on March 11th. Reorganization and how we elect our county chairs and our district chairs and our state chairs. All of that is started. I had an information session yesterday, trying to help people figure out what to do. And there are some folks who are thinking about having in-person conventions. And I'm going to discourage folks from doing that. We need to still hold off on gathering. If you need help with Zoom, give the office a call. We'll help walk you through it. We don't want you to struggle with figuring it out. And we do want you to be able to participate. Now, I haven't left the house in a couple of days, and I'm going to encourage you, if you live in Oklahoma and you're watching me, don't leave the house if you don't have to. Oklahoma City had a 29-car pileup today because it was sleeting. Guys, be careful out there. Be careful. Don't go out if you don't have to. And I will see you tomorrow at 4:15.